been a whirlwind. It's just an amazing, talk about the sea and the pool, and just an amazing dating opportunity here. Just single, fantastic, educated, sexy, interesting people of all ages. And I feel like unleashed. I feel reborn here just in terms from a dating standpoint.
Gosh, that's great.
So much opportunity. And so, I've been on a handful of dates, had a couple of short-term relationships, and I feel like I'm working in the right direction.
I love hearing that, though. That's fantastic. Arun, how about you?
Yeah, so a couple months removed, I would think, we were having some issues and problems, I think, for a little period of time. So maybe it wasn't surprising that the relationship ended. I would say, yeah, healing-wise, I've healed pretty well, and I'm looking forward to meeting new people. I'm always kind of curious because I've tried a couple different, dating scenarios, including a matchmaker here in Tampa.
Oh, like an actual matchmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, well, a matchmaking service.
Okay.
And I went on some good, I would say, dates. Ended up actually several years back getting, engaged to one of the women that I dated, and just didn't go well because I think the perception of being put on a matchmaking service also yields certain people to be attracted to you. And so I don't know from a value standpoint if that was the best catch, but like I said, it's trial and error, right? So.
Yes.
Yes.
So but let's talk about the matchmaking service because, we've had several shows where we talk about the dating apps. Right. The matchmaking service is a little bit different, right?
100%. And so the reason I went to matchmaking service, and I don't know if this is the best or not, but,
yeah,
but my therapist told me you're escaping from putting in the effort on the dating side because you do a lot professionally, and I'm pretty diligent, running my business and expanding, et cetera. So I'm pretty detail oriented, but I'm not so much that way, I would say, in my social life. And so one of her questions to me is, why is that? And I said, well, maybe it's because I do so much work on this side. I just want it to fall in my lap, right? And so I joined a matchmaking service. And so the concept was, let's get some of the bigger issues out of the way. Do you want to have kids? Do you want to be married? Are you okay with kids? What do you want your partner to do financially? So you have some lofty goals that are kind of set that they pre-screen. So you are expecting that you don't have to discuss those questions as the person's already agreed, right? So they've already kind of committed to that. Now it's just, are you attracted to the person? Do you get along? Is there a particular future? So I thought the concept was pretty cool.
That does sound like a very cool concept. Mike, what do you think about it? And you actually place attorneys, right, into the right jobs for them. So with the matchmaking service, though, I mean, is that a good way to go?
Well, I'm a recruiter for a living. My understanding is you're 3 up on me, though, Sarina. You've set up, what, 6 marriages?
9, but who's
Okay.
counting?
All
But
right.
who is counting?
For the show?
Right? Listen, speaking of that, though,
Yeah.
I don't mean to digress.
No, do.
Because of Dating in America, actually, there have been several dates that have come from this show.
Oh, wow.
And Michael, I am putting this on the record.
Yeah.
I am hoping there will be some marriages down the line. And here at Red House Streaming and CP Communications, you never know. We might be streaming those marriages. I might be officiating. And, I did arrange I set up some people when I worked in traditional news. I ended up being in their wedding. I'm only saying, I wouldn't mind.
So you decided not to go the arrange route, but you decided to arrange a bunch of other people.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So look how excited I get too. Like the thought of setting up people, seriously, I get so excited. But okay,
Yeah,
so
no, we know because we've done our homework. So I've only set up 3.
but
So I have a lot of catching up to do.
3 is fantastic.
Yeah.
But as a recruiter by trade, I guess, what do you think of the matchmaking service over a dating app?
Conceptually, it's a great idea. Here's the challenge. Someone has to get in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a logical formula. And once you're smitten with someone, a lot of the rest of all of that logic goes out the window, right? I mean,
It is true.
I mean, do you find someone attractive? Are you drawn to them? Is there a chemistry? Are you laughing? Are you enjoying each other's company? And so I'm not suggesting the service isn't a good starting place. There's no wrong starting place. A dating app, a matchmaking service, a trivia night, the supermarket, any of these are terrific starting places.
Sure.
There's no wrong starting place, but to try to logic love, I think, is a mistake.
Got it. Okay. Let me ask you guys this. Speaking of
I might have a
matchmaking
slightly
service.
different point.
Okay. Okay.
Mainly because I would say historically, I probably chose the emotional aspect of it, but that doesn't necessarily render somebody to be a long-term good partner, right? So I think as you get older, you probably tend to realize what makes good values, what characteristics will probably be good for a long-term relationship versus something, you're just enjoying and you're having fun with. So I think there's two ways to look at it, right? So if you're out there to have fun, I think the apps are great because it's more of like this emotional reaction. If you're trying to build something that's more stable and long-term, I think you have to, use your mind to be like, well, have I seen this characteristic in the past? And is this going to be a good value characteristic in a long-term stable relationship? So I think those are two different things.
Do you believe in, speaking of services and dating apps and everything, do you believe, though, in meeting someone organically still?
Yeah, very much so, actually.
It is possible. You feel it is possible.
Yeah.
And I actually lean closer to that. So Mike and I have had several conversations about this. So him and my other buddy Charlie give me a lot of advice on apps and strategies and things I should do, and I'm like, man, that seems like a lot of work. And so I like to immediately meet somebody organically because I know whether I'm attracted to them, I know whether we have anything in common, and whether or not we have any vibe. And if I don't have any of that, then what's the point? Where on an app, you're sorting through, and my philosophy is people are always cooler and smarter when they have time to respond to you, because they may not be as witty in real life as they are in the app, and then you meet them in real life, and you're like, oh, well. So I'm all about efficiency. As I get joked on about this, and like, you just need to figure out the most efficient way to date, and so that's part of my philosophy.
It's a great irony because Arun is teaching me about efficiency, and I used to think dating apps were more efficient, and I think he's winning the argument that they're less efficient.
Really? Yeah. Because I love what you said too. When you do have more time, I guess, to respond, and rather than being quick on your feet.
Yeah.
But Mike, I like what you said about even meeting someone at the grocery store. In fact, when I did a series on where to meet people, and one of the places was the grocery store. Have you had any grocery store encounters?
Not necessarily a successful one, but I try, Sarina. I try.
Yeah. Are you supposed to help them pick like the right vegetables? Is that how you like start the
It's like a scene out of Animal House.
Don't pick that apple. That's not a good one.
So guys, on the show, we're starting something new, which is really fun. And the team has comprised some questions. So we're going to go to a break right now. And when we come back, I have some fun questions for you. Yes. So stay with us, everybody. We'll be back right after this.
Thinking about getting engaged, planning to upgrade your wedding ring, or finally getting that Rolex?
The Golden Diamond Source can help you in many ways.
You can start a layaway plan for only 10% down and 6 monthly payments.
Take advantage of our 3 to 5 year interest-free financing.
Or you can trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase.
Come to the Golden Diamond Source and find that perfect gift for the ones that you love.
September's birthstone is sapphire. Sapphires come in every color of the rainbow except red.
Pad precious sapphires are extremely rare pink-orange stones, and their rarity makes them more precious and valuable than any other sapphire.
They're perfect for everyday wear since they are the hardest colored gemstone.
To learn more about sapphires or any other colored gemstone, follow us on our social media, online, or even come see us only at the Golden Diamond Source.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Dating in America. I'm here with two catches of the day, Mike and Arun. Love having you here, guys. Hey, are you ready, though, to be put in the hot seat?
Tough question.
So, yes, we have some questions on the show.
Okay.
And, we change out the questions. You guys walked in for a tour.
I was hoping to just get free dating advice from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to give free dating advice as well. I don't know how good I will. You know what? Actually, I take that back. I mean, I have set up 9 couples, right? So I must be doing something right.
Expert at this point.
Wait, Sarina, so you've set up 9. I've set up 3. We're both sort of in the recruiting business in one way or another. How come we're single? What's happening that you and I are still single?
What is going on in the world?
Well, we'll have to take that offline another time. All right,
okay,
we're
guys.
Ready. We're ready.
Are you ready? The first question. What is your biggest non-negotiable when it comes to finding a partner? As they sit and write. Oh, okay. So, Mike, since you got it done first.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I show you or the camera?
You can show sex.
Yeah.
Okay, so the team does make fun of me because, this is like I get all embarrassed, the Indian, maybe, like, oh my God, that's like, can't we keep it PG-13 or G-rated? But okay, so when you say sex, Larissa Stanley, you'd be so proud of me. I said this word now for the second time on the air.
Well, again, I've done my homework. I don't recall hearing this hearing this word on your previous episodes.
Yes.
So a little bit of this is poking the bear. I apologize. I'll be honest.
Thank you for watching the previous
Yes,
episodes.
but there's truth to this too, because if you're not aligned in terms of chemistry, what you enjoy, openness, intimacy, some people like to hold hands in public, some don't. Physicality is really important, and I think it's underrated. And I think a non-negotiable is someone who doesn't align with you physically. The relationship is going to hit. You get what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right? It's
no, it'll hit some roadblocks.
It's going to hit
for sure.
roadblocks.
It's
And
gonna
I know it's not the most important thing. I know love is not based on this, but without this, at least at the beginning, I think you're setting yourself up for failure.
No, I do feel it is very important because this is what separates a couple. You can be great friends with somebody, but if you don't have that, that's what connects to people. So for you, non-negotiable. All right, Arun, what's yours?
So my answer is much more traditional, probably from my background, but I would say values.
Values.
Yeah, so I've probably been in relationships where the values just didn't match, and that causes, some sort of break at a certain point, right? So you get the connection, physical, that aspect of it, but at some point it's got to be similar interests, it's got to be similar values, otherwise there isn't a long-term potential. And I think I probably realized that on several different relationships. Though, and it's funny because he mentioned sex, so I've also tried to pick people that I wasn't necessarily physically attracted to, but I thought really interesting person, smart, similar interests, and I dated them and I was very happy to date them. But at some point, because I wasn't initiating the physical aspect of the sex, they would start to get a complex and they would say, what's wrong? And it wasn't like I was pushing for it, but because I wasn't and they were used to that in previous relationships, it started becoming a sticking point. Yeah. So it's really interesting. Yeah.
So when you talk about values, though, what are important values to you? And Mike, you can weigh in on his answer as well about the values. Like what values for you, Arun?
Yeah, so, just how you were brought up, what you think about family, what your long-term goals are. Are you a charitable person? Are you in life just to, in it for yourself, or you actually value, other people, animals, whatever it may be? How are you living your life? Like, what are your interest points? What do you want out of life? And I think if that doesn't really match, it's difficult because at some point, those values may be ingrained because of your childhood. It may be because of learned behavior, but I think after a certain age, it's difficult to significantly change that, right? And I found that, I would say, even in my own relationships. So family background is a big thing.
How about you for you, Mike?
I think based on our two separate answers, Arun is now catch of the day number 1. Your viewers will be asking for Arun. I've been downgraded now to catch of the day number 2, I guarantee it. I can't beat that answer on values, but similar, someone who is kind and giving and generous, but also I appreciate self-confidence and ambition and someone with a high opinion of herself. Right, and so I tend to click with that type of personality. It's more about personality fit for me than a values fit.
And I really appreciate that you brought up the confidence thing because I have a 15-year-old daughter who we talk about a lot on the air, Sammy, and I tell her and her friends all the time, there's a difference between being confident and cocky.
Yes.
And being confident, I feel, is very attractive in a male or a female.
Sure. Yeah.
The more confident you are in yourself. Great answer so far, guys. Here's another one.
Oh, do we?
Okay,
rub
I'm
off
just
the
so in love with romance. I know you may not be able to wipe it up. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
I'll do it on my hand.
Oh, look at that.
Go for it,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay. Should the man always cover the dinner bill or is splitting the check appropriate? Okay, we'll start with Arun this time, though, because we started.
Oh, wait a second. Come on,
Oh,
say man.
you
Come
guys
on.
both have the same. Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
You're not going to have guys on your show who split bills. Come on.
Well,
No, but I would say, but it's interesting. I've had women in our building that have complained about the dating apps, saying one of the reasons they hate going on them is because the man is like, well, you just want to get a free dinner out of this? You're not expecting to pay? And so I was kind of shocked because I was never brought up that. I would even think about doing that, right? But it's interesting. I guess there are a lot of men that are just like, why should I pay? You're on this date, you agreed to go just as much as I did, so you should split it. So I'm assuming that's the thinking, right? So,
well, I'm old-fashioned in the sense that
Yeah.
I do feel, at least for the first date or first couple of dates, it's romantic.
Sure.
If I hope some people are mad at me or anything, but I think for the first couple of dates at least, I think it's nice when a guy opens the door.
I think it's part of the courtship process, right? So,
And so with both of you though, so you said yes as well. Do you feel though after a period of time, the girlfriend or chips in, or what are your thoughts?
I don't, for me, it's not as quid pro quo as that, right? Like, I love picking up bills, getting dinner theater tickets, but my weakness, if someone makes me one meal, that's it. I might be proposing the next day. It can be kindnesses. It doesn't have to be an economic exchange, but yes, when the other individual makes a plan or brings me to a party or does something that adds value to our relationship, it doesn't have to be an economic exchange, if that makes sense.
Yes, because honestly, all right. So you guys are picking up the bill.
Yeah.
But then the girlfriend or whoever it is bakes you cookies or makes you dinner or does your laundry or whatever. Does that go a long way?
yeah, 100%, because it means they show interest in the actual relationship and they're trying to return, at least that kindness in whatever fashion they can. So it doesn't have to be economical, but it still shows thoughtfulness, right? And so I think a relationship is never even all the time. It's always up and down from one partner or the other, but I think it just shows interest that the other person's into you, right? They still want to do things, whether it's economic or not.
And it's the time spent, right? It's the time and the care that's spent.
Yeah, effort indicates interest, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%, yeah.
So here's who is your celebrity crush? And as you guys are writing that answer, do you guys have a type? Are you more attracted to blondes? Are you more attracted to brunettes? Is there something to be said for that? You're ready to. You're ready to.
You should go, because
I
He's ready to
was
go.
answering your other question, but yeah, I'm ready to go.
He's ready to go.
go. You
Well,
go.
Mike, you go ahead.
No, celebrity crush, J-Lo. I'm the Ben Affleck wannabe.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that woman is hot.
Right?
Oh, okay. What
And
is
has all the things we were talking about.
I mean, but she takes care of her. Okay, why? Listen, I have a crush on J Lo. Why is J Lo your crush, your female crush?
Well, gorgeous. For me, kind of, visually perfect. But also, again, successful, confident, great sense of humor. This is the whole package.
Good choice. Good choice.
So I kind of swapped the answers. So you said, are you attracted to something more than other? Not really, but I do have an attraction for redheads. I don't know why.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you know what?
And then Mila Jovovich is my celebrity crush.
So the attraction to redheads is very interesting. We actually we're going to have a redheaded entertainer on the show. So I did a lot of research about redheads, and it's the percentage of redheads is it's so there's not very many redheads.
Yeah.
And they do say that redheads do have more fun than even blondes.
I don't know about that, but I agree with you that they're more of a scarcity.
Yes.
So I think there may be an attraction from the scarcity in society, right? There's just fewer of them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Can I give
Something
a
about
second
that,
answer?
yeah.
yes, you could definitely give a second answer.
All right, this is just for the camera. Here we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, that's so sweet. See, this is why he's a top recruiter.
Exactly.
All right, so
Well, he's a celebrity crush.
oh,
right,
that's
all
so
right.
sweet. Thank you. So, all right, let me ask you guys: are you willing to have kids? I know now I'm getting really serious. Like, okay, here are the questions. The question. I didn't mean just to cheer it up. Are you guys willing to have kids?
Yes. Yes. I actually always wanted to have kids.
So you don't have any kids currently? No. So you would have kids.
So Arun is much younger than I am. Appearances notwithstanding, he's much younger. I don't want to be the David Letterman dad. I don't have kids of my own, which is a bit of a sadness for me. So you never date someone based on whether they have kids or not. That's a mistake. But I feel, honestly, like I'm a pretty good plug and play for a single mom. I do. I do. I would definitely take on that, someone past diaper stage, or teenage, and be a teenager, be a mentor to. So, I think what would naturally fit given my age, which is 57. So, yeah.
And how old are you, Arun? Do you mind asking?
43.
Honestly, both of you look fantastic, though. I don't. Like,
Yeah.
He doesn't seem
Yeah.
significantly younger. No offense. You know. I mean,
great, yeah.
I'll take it.
So, do you believe in true love? Do you believe you will find that person?
Question. I hope so, but I think as I've got older, and I'm looking more from a family dynamic, that maybe it's a toss. You're in love with them for a period of time, but they also are a good life partner, right? So I would say I'm looking for a life partner, and
But
so
would you get married?
yes, I would. And so I think that family structure, maybe some of my childhood and upbringing, kind of comes back, and you kind of yearn for that type of structure, just from family, friends, societal aspects. So I think all of that has an influence. Maybe when you're younger, you don't care as much, and as you start getting older, you're like, oh, that's pretty nice, right? So, yeah.
And how about you, Mike? Do you believe in true love?
That is so logical. I believe that I will once again, as I have in the past, find someone who drives me bananas. It'll be a show, and we will be in love. I do believe that will happen again. Yes.
Yeah, I've had a lot of shows. I don't know about that.
Well, I would love it. We were talking about how people have reached out to me after they've seen people on the show. I am confident that I will have women reaching out to me to meet the catches of the day.
Oh,
You both are fantastic. Hey guys, and if you want to recommend someone for the show, please email us. It could be a show about love, dating, business, personal. And if you want to be on one of the shows, email us that as well. production@redhousestreaming.com. We are on multiple social media platforms. In fact, every single one right now, I think. Is TikTok on there? I'm not sure if TikTok is on there. We're starting that too. But we're also on Roku, and we have some very big announcements actually coming next month. So, Arun, tell me your last name one more time.
Ramabadran.
Yeah, I love that last name. Arun
Ramabadran.
Yeah, Ramabadran.
Ramabadran.
And Mike Evers. Hey guys, thank you for being on Dating in America.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of
So much
course.
fun.
Any last words?
Ooh, I don't know. The audience out there, hopefully there's somebody out there that's wanting to meet me and have true love as much as they want to meet Mike.
Do you want to top that?
Yeah, I can top that. You want to see how I can top that? When are we going out again?
Well, again, my life off the record. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
The Golden Diamond Source has been in business for nearly 4 decades and is one of the largest family-owned jewelry stores in America.
We have the largest selection of white and fancy colored diamonds and gemstones you'll find anywhere.
We also have private areas for VIP viewings.
Only at the Golden Diamond Source.